I'm just a lazy video gamer, even too lazy to make fancy thumbnails. Hello out there in Videoland, it's me again, the lazy video gamer, and today we're gonna have a little fireside chat about one game, the game I love. I really like this game. I was in this generation where the Ultra 64 was a thing, was a real thing. We all hoped it came, and the name sounded cool, cooler than Nintendo 64. Yeah, it's always said that Nintendo is a little bit a family, a kiddie console company, and they had their guidelines. Back in the days, they having the big console war with Sega, who always was placed in a more adult spectrum of video gamers. So they had more arcade games. There were two words or two guidelines Nintendo always wanted to keep them, and there was no blood in their games, and never should a game appear with the part or the word killer in the title. Now in the mid-90s, the Super Nintendo was almost in the retirement home. Sony and Sega had their next gen consoles out, the Sega Saturn and the PlayStation, of course, and Nintendo needed something to presentate to us gamers, so they made a deal with Midway and Williams and Rare. The result was these two cabins in the arcades, Cruisin' USA and Killer Instinct. Killer Instinct was produced formerly by Rare, who was very close to Nintendo, so they can't adapt those IPs for themselves. These two games, let me say, or this one game, because Cruisin' USA is and was a decent but not spectacular racing game, but it was something to show in the arcade what the next gen hardware, the Ultra 64, can do. And that was the same with Killer Instinct. We had in our arcades both cabins, but Cruisin' USA, as I mentioned, it's a regular racing game like Outrun, but not in that quality of Outrun. As you know, I love Outrun. Well, so this black machine in the arcade, this Killer Instinct, get more attention from me, and it was even in the game advertised that the game will come in 1995 to the next gen console from Nintendo, then called Ultra 64, in 1995 when it's released, or 1996 I believe. There was a gap between the release of Killer Instinct and the Nintendo 64. So we all hoped for this game came, and we were pretty amazed, or let me say a little bit confused when it was released for the Super Nintendo. The Nintendo 64 took his time and had some delays, and it was pretty sure that this game doesn't come to the start from the Ultra 64, because in Nintendo's opinion it was too old at this point, and it was of course only a fighting game and not that kind of games Nintendo stands for. So we got, as I mentioned, this. It's the Spanish version. I sold my European, my British PAL version years ago, and I rebuyed this version also years ago, but keep them in stock since then, because I love this game. Yeah. It also was converted to the Game Boy. Of course, the monochrome Game Boy couldn't show us any near of those graphic impressions from the arcade machine. The Super Nintendo version had his capabilities, but also had his troubles. But when the Ultra 64 then hits the market, this game was over a year old, and Nintendo thought nobody wants to buy this game anymore. So they decided to bring Killer Instinct Gold instead. It's a little bit kind of remix from Killer Instinct 2. It was okay, it is still okay. Has a cool intro on the Nintendo 64 with the exploding N64 logo, but it wasn't Killer Instinct 1. And I love Killer Instinct 1. I always dreamed back then to build my own cabin. I thought about to buy 2 joysticks and some wood plates and a TV and an extra Super Nintendo as well to build myself a cabin. So it took years and years and years, and Nintendo never thought about to bring the original on a virtual console or anything to our homes. Then they need a little bit of money, or Microsoft need some IPs. And there was this company, as you know, Rare, who did Kill Instinct, who did Conquer, and who did the new version of Donkey Kong as we all know and love. And Microsoft bought Rare. Nintendo thought at this point back then they don't deliver many hits lately, so we can sell them to Microsoft. They can have Conquer, it's yeah, and they can have Kill Instinct. Yeah, it was let me say it gentle, it was the poop of a fly in history. In their eyes, but not in my eyes, or maybe also in your eyes, who are fans of this game. Yeah. But what should we do with Donkey Kong? Cause the model from Donkey Kong, as we all know since Donkey Kong Country, was the property of Rare. And they made the deal. We keep Donkey Kong and the model you gave us all the rights for that, and you can have Conquer and you can have Kill Instinct. Doesn't care anymore. So the deal was made, and Microsoft did what they do. They took their chance and told were to make a new Killer Instinct. And with this new Killer Instinct, you became also Killer Instinct 2 and Killer Instinct 1. And it's the only conversation who comes close to the real arcade. As you might know, I mentioned it in the arcade version, in the original arcade version, there come an announcement that the game will be available in 1995 only on Nintendo Ultra 64. And it was famous for that. This announcement isn't in this game, but it's a real good emulation, it's a good conversation. It makes a lot of fun if you don't have the space. As you know, I cancelled my pre-order from the German company. I got this machine directly from the States. And I had also the chance to play online. And as a fan of Killer Instinct, I was pretty amazed how passionate the Killer Instinct fan base is. Everyone has his own story. Where did he play this game first back then? So in my case it was the local arcade and the basement arcade of a discotheque, and it's a real pleasure to talk with people about this game and this cab, and it's possible. It's one of these positive things, and I had to get my Wii U headphone with microphone to have a chat, or the chance of a chat, when I'm playing online. But there are also some points I want to show you that I'm not quite happy with it. So the first thing is I want to mention, you can see it clear, is the coloring of the front panel. On the left side it's my own Pandora box Killer Instinct cap, and on the right side, of course, the original or the legit version of Arcade 1-Up. You see the difference, and on the left it's the original artwork, and on the right it's the artwork from Arcade 1-Up. But it looks okay. If you wonder why there is the Nintendo sticker there, I bought those for both cabins separate, because this is of course not on the licensed cab, because Nintendo doesn't have the license anymore. Also, I want to mention is, in my opinion, it's a little bit too high gloss and shiny, the Arcade 1-Up, but it looks okay. Now I want to show you the board, cause I think for a cab who costs $700, it should be more precise. So let me zoom a little bit in. I show you what I mean. Do you recognize? This is the Killer Instinct logo. It has this white border around. Fine. Anyway, but the print is not to the top of the line, and that's the reason it's a little bit high down there, so it's not precise printed. You have it on the logo, and you also have it by the buttons. The start button here, you can see it clear. It's the artwork is under the white line, and so in the upper half is also the artwork under the white line here. I almost forgot when I built the cap that it has this cool feature. And in the right light you can see the white lines are there for a purpose. You can skip all the color palette through. As you can see, also with automatically color shifting. And for demonstration, I used my magic to darken the room. Doesn't that look cool? So, my journey for Killer Instinct, or the almost perfect cap for Killer Instinct, isn't over. I will do some modification in the artwork, but it's the end of today's Lazy Video Gamer show. I hope you enjoyed it. I just wanna say a little apology because I let you wait 2 weeks till you have this episode. I catch the cold, but I'm now back in the saddle again, and it would be a great pleasure for me to have you next Sunday also on board. It's Mega Sunday. I'll show you a couple more games of the Mega CD from the year 1994. Have a great time till then, and don't forget, the game is never over. I'm just a lazy video gamer, even too lazy to get an own theme song.
Ready. Yeah! 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 Yeah!